Wrapping up day 4 and all of SEC football media days in Hoover, Alabama here on 99.1 thesportsanimal.com. Vince Farrar alongside Eric Kane from the starting lineup. And it was 3 teams going today, just like we saw in day 1, and a little bit lighter crowd in terms of the media here. Some people bailed. Some just came for their teams who were here all week. So 3 teams today, started with Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz and players, followed by Arkansas, Sam Pittman and players, and then first-year head coach Bryan Harsin at Auburn and their players. So, Eric, we'll start, first of all, with Missouri this morning. Eli Drinkwitz, he made his way around Radio Row a little bit. Anything stood out from Drinkwitz or any of the players?
Well, Eli Drinkwitz, he's a confidence guy, and I like him. I think he's a smart guy. I like what he did in year 1. He's always going to take a shot here and there. It's never like a big-time shot. It's just kind of a little under-the-radar shot. He said, I believe it was in the radio room, that when they're hosting Florida this year, he hopes it snows, so Dan Mullen will actually have something to complain about that's worth complaining about. He also took a shot at somebody else as well. But, he was sharp. And, again, I think for that Missouri club that, can finish somewhere in the middle of the pack in the SEC East, could finish as high as 3rd potentially, or maybe could finish as low as 5th or 6th. I know some people are picking them at 3rd. But Eli Drinkwitz, I think he was sharp. He was commanding in what was his first SEC day experience.
Arkansas, Sam Pittman talking about ACT scores, saying he had an 18 on his ACT and that he wasn't bragging, and then he admitted, maybe I was bragging a little bit. What do you think about Arkansas?
Sam Pittman was awesome. Again, another guy. It was his first SEC day experience because, again, no SEC days, media days in 2020. But Sam Pittman, I believe he said, what was it, 89% vaccination rate
of his players, 92 in the building.
Yeah, and that's in terms of what's going on around the SEC. That's phenomenal. And if you're Sam Pittman, you're that coaching staff, you're that administration, you got to love that because, again, they're putting themselves in a position to where, maybe not be able to, have a canceled game or something. So that stood out to me, of course. The returning depth and talent, I think he said he returns 8 starters on offense, 8 starters on defense, all 3 coordinators. A team that won 3 games last year, a team that returns a lot. We'll have to break in a new quarterback a little bit. Pittman's trying to get Arkansas to where it's kind of bowl eligible, and then from there, who knows? But I thought he looked pretty good today as well.
Yeah, he really emphasized the 23 seniors. He has 11 super seniors, 12 regular seniors. Get used to that terminology, super seniors, if you're not already. So I think in terms of coaches working the room today, he probably stood out. Now we move to Bryan Harsin. Bryan Harsin also touched on the vaccination levels. I was a little surprised that his team doesn't meet the threshold of over 80%, and he mentioned that they're about 60%. I thought I can't remember another coach trotting that out there when they didn't make the cut.
Yeah, very honest and upfront about it, and I believe he kind of went out and said, "Hey, it's everybody's individual decision. We support whatever they want to do. We supply education about it. We're rooting for it, but in the same sense, it's everybody's individual decision, and that's kind of what my thought process is on it as well. But the 60% is very, very low.
Yeah.
And Greg Sankey said on Monday that, with only being 6 of the 14 teams, that's got to improve to get up to 80%. Auburn might be. I would like to know if a team is below Auburn in terms of percentages, because if so, that's probably not good.
Yeah, and Bryan Harsin also veteran-like in the way he filibustered.
Yeah.
He talked for 30 minutes with his opening comments. He only took 3 questions.
Yeah.
30 minutes between an opening comment and his long answers to 3 questions. That's it. Everybody looked around like, really? That's it? And it's intentional. You talk on everything. Ed Ogeron used to run through the entire roster and too deep. So that was kind of a veteran move by a first-year head coach.
I saw the transcript, Vince, and it was lengthy. Question 1, boom, all the way down the page.
Right.
But, there's a lot of questions there. He knew he'd get asked about Gus Malzahn. And, again, I found this interesting. I heard this. I've been hanging out with Jimmy too much. I found this interesting. I knew this coming into it, but then he kind of connected the dots even more. He's got so many connections to Gus Malzahn.
Right.
It's incredible. And so you knew he'd be asked about that, the culture, the team, this new offense, Bo Nix, quarterbacks. So veteran-like move to filibuster and take up as much time as he possibly could.
Yeah, he's followed Gus Malzahn at 2 different stops, Arkansas State and now at Auburn. I wanted to ask him about the Temple offense and how he can keep that fresh and effective now with defenses adjusting, and then also with the level of defenders and teams he's going up against, because guess who also has that similar challenge, and that's Josh Heupel at Tennessee. Just a quick review from you on how you thought Tennessee did this week.
Yeah, I thought Tennessee did fine. I mean, Josh Heupel, he was very open. He strikes me as a guy, and this is going back to the spring, that just understands that media is a part of the job.
Right.
Okay, it's refreshing. I thought Jeremy Pruitt said some good things whenever he got in front of the camera when he actually spoke, but Josh Heupel kind of gets it. He's open, allows that access, and I mean, it's hard to pick two more better representatives of a university than Alontae Taylor and Bayless Jones Jr. I thought they were very, very well. I mean, did they say anything groundbreaking? No. The biggest thing that came out of this week was really something we already kind of knew about, but it was confirmed that Tennessee's going to practice in the mornings, and that Tennessee's not one of the 6 teams in the SEC at that 80% threshold. So anything groundbreaking? No, but I was impressed with Josh Heupel. Again, he understands it. He's open, and I thought that he was really very detailed in answering his questions.
Yeah, coming across as sincere and believable, and that's a positive. And look, you're not going to win any games by handling yourself well here, but in talking about relationships, in making a good impression, in being out there in helping your recruiting case by saying, hey, the sky's not falling here. We still got a good product and a great school to recruit to. And I think that was one of the big major points that they wanted to accomplish, is help themselves in recruiting, and got a lot of compliments about how the Tennessee guys did from other media members around the league. So a win there for Tennessee. We'll see what the season holds. By the way, all the Tennessee content, video, and audio on one post. It's right there in the middle of the website. Also on the Vols tab at 991thesportsanimal.com. 18 different pieces of content between audio and video. You can catch up on everything from the Tennessee Volunteers, plus team wrap-up pages for everyone around the league. Some of them are up. The rest of them will be up there. Got over 100 podcasts, over 50 videos, with more to come this week, and it will stay up on the website for a while. Just final thoughts on our 4 days here and the week that was, that I guess kind of took a left turn with all that Oklahoma-Texas talk late.
Yeah, that took over. And again, it was Texas A&M's day, and so for that news to be break from the Houston Chronicle. Also, it was Shane Beamer saying that he's going to throw to his tight ends a lot. That was a recruiting pitch to go after the number 1 tight end in the country, who they were very much involved with. Mm-hmm. That was what Eli Drinkwitz was saying. Oh, well, thanks, Shane Beamer. Thanks for letting us know you're going to throw to your tight end.
Right.
Anyway, it was a lot of fun, a lot to take in, and this officially means it's football time almost in Tennessee.
All right, Eric, Jimmy, Jay Lyford, myself, we were your crew here on location in Hoover. Proud to be here and really appreciate you in watching and listening throughout all our wrap-ups, all our videos and podcasts. Thanks to everyone back in our studio that helped all of the hosts throughout the day in talking about it and having us on as guests with reports and playing some of that audio. And then also Chandler Emerson, Logan Ward, Sam Foreman, Ben Hardy. Thanks to all those guys for their great work, and really appreciate all of you for taking in all our content. Like I said, it's all going to stay there at 991thesportsanimal.com. Tennessee football practice will start in just a couple of weeks, and we'll, of course, as always, have it completely covered for you. For Eric Kane, Jimmy Himes, Jay Life, for our entire crew here in Hoover, it's been a pleasure. That's a wrap on 2021 SEC Football Media Days. I'm Vince Ferrar. You guys enjoy the rest of your summer, and we will talk to you soon here on The Sports Animal.